What up, party people? So I'm gonna do something real quick. I would actually like to take apart the catch can setup that I currently installed in the vehicle. First of all, I want to see if it's catching any oil. The little indicator stick on there, the clear tube is not actually showing that there's oil in there. So I'm going to disassemble the setup. I'm actually going to do two things. So I'm going to install a new catch can in this one's place. It is an exact replica of the Mishimoto one. It just doesn't have the branding on it. I'll show you guys what that looks like here in a second. Only because through that PCV system, I would actually like to catch more oil vapor. And I'm taking the Cusco catch can, which allows more flow. It doesn't have as good of a baffled setup as this Mishimoto one. But I'm going to set up the Cusco one through the lower part of the engine, and I'm going to set up this clone through the PCV system. So real quick, I'm going to have you guys take a look at the disassemble. We're going to take a look to see if there's any oil in this Cusco catch can. And I'm going to go through the process of installing the new setup so you guys can see what that looks like. Alright guys, so here's the current setup. It is the Cusco racing oil catch can. I've already taken off the zip ties that were holding these hoses together. I'm going to take the hoses off, and we're going to take a look at the catch can to see if it caught any oil. Now typically this indicator would have oil coming up through here to let you know if there's any volume in there. But I've been running it pretty aggressively over the last couple of weeks, so I would imagine that there should be a little bit, whether it's a drop or two of oil in there. And then we're going to get to actually installing the Mishimoto replica. And again, I'm going to take it apart, show you guys what it looks like. It is absolutely identical. They're probably made by the same manufacturer, one without branding, and it was a pretty good deal. I think it was like 25 bucks. And I'd be willing to run it on this vehicle just because I like the fit and finish, and I'm almost positive that, like I said, it's made through the same manufacturer. Hose one is off, and the second hose is down right here. Second hose. I'm taking the clamp off just in case. I don't want to drop that anywhere. Same thing with this one. Wrench 10mm also to hold the backside of the bolt. So the catch can is off. So let's go take a look at this on the workbench. Alright, so I'm going to take off these particular fittings. So, out of the hoses. Now, out of the Cusco can, let's see. Nothing. So it's dry. It's dry as a bone. Familiar with the Mishimoto one? It is the exact same thing. Okay, so you have your smaller collection can. You have your fittings, and then you have the actual top part of this, the out, the in, the baffle, the filter down below. I will mount this to the existing bracket, but it's really good quality. I mean, the O-ring up top, it's not cheap. I was actually rather impressed by it. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on until I saw the quality of it, but I'm very impressed by it. I would imagine this is the exact same fit and finish as the Mishimoto one. So, alright guys, so this is what I'm going to do. I had some of these lying around. They are 24 by ½ inch number 10 screws. And I also had some nuts that I had in this package. Anytime I go to Walmart and I'm working on a project, I buy a couple different sizes. They're only like a couple bucks. But they are just barely too big to fit in this hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the hole bigger by running this drill bit through it. The drill bit is a 3/16 size drill bit, which will allow me to run this particular hardware. I'm going to put it just below where my thumb's at, because this part mounts to the existing bracket. I'm going to drill the holes just where my thumb is at. That way this guy can sit on there like so. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and drill the back of this out, and then I'm going to drill into this bracket. Step one done. Now let's drill into this bracket. Alright, so now we're going to drill into these two lower white dots. And that's going to be where my mount meets this Cusco bracket. Alright guys, so now I can mount this bracket to my existing Cusco bracket. Just enough space. So let's assemble this and let's see if we can get this mounted into the car. I spray painted this black again so it didn't look so beat up. This is the new hosing that I got. So this one's actually designed to withstand any sort of fuel / petroleum. See right there, it says fuel line hose. These are the new fittings in there. I mated them to the stock hose. So this one is going to go, the straight one is going to go directly to the intake manifold. This longer one is going to go from the catch can to the valve cover. I just hit it with some black Krylon High Heat Max. That should withstand everything. I have some of this thread tape to seal this bottom hole here when I put in this valve. And then I also have clear tubing. So my goal is, catch can's going to be mounted up high. The valve is going to come down from here, and then the clear tubing is going to go directly down through the engine bay. And then I have another valve that's on order right now that's going to sit at the very bottom closed. And then whenever I want to empty any sort of oil that's caught in the clear tubing, all I'll do is open this up. And that's what's the beautiful thing about this clear tubing is any oil / vapor that is caught in the catch can is going to immediately drain down to this tubing. So as it fills up, I can actually see visually when it needs to be emptied, opposed to, you know, unscrewing the bottom of this every time. And then I can just continue to empty it, you know, as I see fit. So That's that. I'm going to go ahead and assemble everything right now, and then we're going to take it over to the Accord, and then we're going to get everything installed. Cool. So now out, which is this line, is going straight down into the air intake manifold. So let me just push that on there. Okay. Let's get that clamp. Okay, that's secure. Second hose, I'm going to go ahead and just route it back underneath itself. This is your in, and of course the bad air is what's coming into the catch can. So this is getting routed from the valve cover okay, so that's secure. Just mount the catch can. So let's put these here before we lose them. Alright guys, just a quick update. My camera died, so I'm going to show you guys recorded on my cell phone. So I have the new catch can mounted up. This is the way that I mounted it. So I did get new hose, just like I said before. This one's rated for, of course, any petroleum-based liquids. I kept the original setup, so again, I'm using the stock PCV hose. You can see it's connected right there to the valve. Something to splice the two lines together, because this one's a little bit thinner than this line. It's routed back into the inside, and then I have the outside going directly down right there. So that's the catch can setup. I did mount it to the existing Cusco bracket. So you can see this is where I mounted the Cusco bracket. It's actually on the bracket for the fuel line protection. So I mounted it up there to the existing spot. Only thing that I have not done yet is I have not put on the valve in the clear line, which is going to route below this, probably off down somewhere in that section. And I'm waiting for parts to come in order to do that. So this is the setup. It's a little bit more incognito. Once I do a little bit more research, I'm actually going to get the Cusco one mounted to the crankcase. But for now, this is a setup. Now, I think that Cusco one, just to do a little bit of an overview, I think that Cusco one was actually potentially spraying some vapor. The reason why I say that is if you look here, that's telltale signs right there of some sort of oil residue. Now, I haven't put any oil in there since I've showed you guys the install of the Cusco one, and this is all oil residue right here. And if you guys remember the can actually had some residue where the fitting actually fit into the can. So you can see there was something in here that was kind of spraying around a little bit. I mean, it's not a tremendous amount, but the engine definitely was not, I want to say, dirty like this or had any residue on it. So I'm going to run it like this. If you guys have any questions or comments, of course, let me know. Other than that, that's all for today, folks.